Hey, Kids Life, it's Justin, and I am so excited to be with you today. We are going to finish up our series called Blueprints, and during this series, we've been talking about the fact that God has a plan for your life. God has a plan for your life. Let me start off today by asking you a question. What activities can you think of where you need a team? Can you think of anything? Name them out loud, say them out loud. What is something that you do or something you've seen, something you've been a part of where it's really important to have a team? And now let me ask you another question. What happens when someone on the team doesn't do what you need them to do? Yeah, that's right. It doesn't go well, does it, right? So I love sports. I'm sure that you know that about me. I love sports. And so today I brought a few things. I brought a basketball. I love playing basketball with my daughter and with my son and my friends. But you need a team to play basketball, right? I mean, you can go out and just shoot by yourself. But to play a game, you need a team. There are 5 people on the court on each team, right? But that's not the whole team. You need some people on the bench because when somebody out of those first 5 gets tired, you need somebody to come in and take over and score and pass and steal and play defense. And what happens when someone doesn't do what you need them to do? Yeah, the team suffers, right? Like the team is not complete unless everyone on the team does what they need to do. I also brought a baseball bat and a baseball. I love baseball. Baseball is my favorite sport. And there are a lot of people on the field in baseball. There are 9 people on each team on a baseball team. So there's a lot of room for someone not to do what they are supposed to do. And if they don't do what they're supposed to do, like let's say the second baseman decides, I'm just going to sit down and play in the dirt. That's a big deal because that means that the team is not complete. And let me tell you, I've had that happen. I remember coaching little kids, and we had this little boy on the team. It was first time ever playing, and we would put him in the field, and the only thing that he wanted to do was make sandcastles. And then after he'd make a sandcastle and we'd say, hey, don't make sandcastles, he'd stand up and start running as fast as he can into the outfield. And the team couldn't be complete unless everyone was doing what they needed to do for the team. So God has a plan for your life, and you are included in God's plan. God's family is a team. Just like a basketball team, just like a baseball team, just like a cheerleading squad, just like a soccer team, just like a football team, that God's family is a team, and we need everybody to do what they were created to do. And you get to be a part of that. When you say yes to Jesus, when you say, I believe in Jesus, and you become a part of God's team, God's family, we need you to do what you can do. I want to look at this story in Mark chapter 11. And it's towards the end of Jesus' life. This is Palm Sunday. And so this story is called the Triumphal Entry. And Jesus and his disciples are coming into Jerusalem. It's just before Jesus is arrested and Jesus goes to the cross for us. And he tells his disciples in Mark chapter 11, starting in verse 2, he says to them, I want you to go into the village over there. And as soon as you enter it, you're going to see a young donkey tied there that no one has ever ridden. Untie it, bring it here. If anyone asks, what are you doing? Just say, the Lord needs it and will return it soon. Verse 4, the 2 disciples left and found the colt standing in the street, tied outside of the front door. As they were untying it, some bystanders demanded, what are you doing untying that colt? They said what Jesus told them to say, and they were permitted to take it. They brought the colt to Jesus and threw their garments over it, and he sat on it. So here's the scene. Jesus is coming into Jerusalem. He says to his disciples, hey, I want you, and later on in the story we see, I want you to go and I want you to prepare the table where we're going to eat together. I want you to go get a donkey and I want you to bring it to me. And everybody on the team had a job. And they did that job. Now, sometimes when it comes to God's plan, let me just say this. We don't know every step. And I love that in this story, he says, if anyone asks, what are you doing? And they did, just say the Lord needs it. And so there are some steps in God's plan. There are some steps whenever we're playing on God's team that we're not exactly sure what is about to happen. But we trust that God knows what is going to happen. We trust that God has a plan, and he's invited us to walk alongside of him, or to be on the team, to participate on the team. And so I love this story, and there are other stories in the Gospels like this where we see Jesus invite his disciples. We see Jesus invite us to be a part of what he is doing. And so I wonder for you, what part are you playing on God's team? Maybe you love to dream and have new ideas. That's kind of like me. I love to have new ideas about what God is doing and where God is calling us. That's amazing. We need dreamers. Maybe you love to teach. You love to teach other people and help them understand Scripture. We need teachers. Maybe you love to hang out with new people, and you love to see the new person, the new kid in the room, and invite them to be a part of the team. We need you. Maybe you're the kind of person that loves to sing. Maybe you're the kind of person that loves to work with computers. Maybe you're the kind of person that loves to work with people that are younger than you, or to welcome someone that's older than you. Everybody has a place. Maybe you're the kind of person that likes to write cards and encourage someone else on the team. Maybe there's a spot for you. You know, we at One Life, we say one life can make a difference. And we really believe that. Your life can make a difference. The team is not complete unless you are on the team. One life can make a difference. Your life, God created you and molded you and knit you together and made you you, and put the hair on your head and put the smile on your face and gave you your gifts so that you can make a difference on his team. So God has a plan, and you and I get to be a part of God's plan. Isn't that incredible? So here's what I want you to talk about. How has God gifted you? What things are you really good at? What do you love to do? And then how can you start to use those things on God's team? So how has God gifted you? What are you really good at? What do you love to do? And how can you start to use that on God's team? And then I got one more question for you. Why is it hard for you to do that? What scares you? What fears do you have? What's standing in the way? All right? So what do you love to do? What are you good at doing? How can you use that for God's team? And why aren't you doing it? What's standing in the way? Thanks so much for hanging out. I'm excited to be on the team with you, and I'm excited and I'm blown away that we get to be a part of God's plan. See you later.